Okay, now that you did your Punnet square quiz, we're going to go over the results and make sure that everybody's on the same place and has all the information correct. Okay, step number 1, you have to create your key. Step number 2, you have to create your cross. Step number 3, you make your Punnet square. And step number 4, you record your results. I set up the first square for you. The key is capital letter T for tall, lowercase t for short. You're going to cross a hybrid with a capital letter T and a lowercase t with a pure short. I set up the top of the Punnet square for you. Now we have to set up the side of the Punnet square. So we need to set up a lowercase t here and a lowercase t here. Okay, does everybody have that on their chart correct? Okay, if we cross this capital letter T with this lowercase t, we're going to wind up with a hybrid. Capital T, lowercase t. If we cross this lowercase t with this lowercase t, we're going to wind up with a pure short. We cross the tall t with the short t, we wind up with a hybrid. And if we cross the short t with the other short t, we wind up with a pure short. Okay, make sure your Punnet square is exactly laid out like that. Now we have to write the results. Okay, so the phenotype, which is the physical appearance of the plants, we have 1, 2, or 50% tall. And we have 1, 2, or 50% short. If we figure out the genotype, the genetic makeup of the results, we can look that 50% is hybrid tall, and 50% is pure short. Are there any questions? Please correct and check your answers. Number 2. We have axial flowers for the key, flowers on the axial and flowers on the terminal. We have to set up our Punnet square using the cross. We're going to cross pure tall for the axial, pure axial, and pure terminal. So we set up your Punnet square like this. Terminal, terminal. Please make sure your square is set up exactly like that. Then you're going to cross axial with terminal. You're going to wind up with a hybrid. Axial with terminal, you wind up with a hybrid. Axial with terminal, again, you wind up with a hybrid. Axial with terminal, again, a hybrid. 25, 25, 25, and 25 totals to 100%. 100%. Axial, flowers, hybrid. They all have the genetic makeup for the axial flower and the terminal flower. Please check your answer and correct. Are there any questions? Stephanie, do you have a question? Montana, do you have a question? Okay, good. Moving on. Okay, number 3. The key is set up G, capital letter G for gray, which is the dominant color, and lowercase g for ebony. Ebony is another shade, or a shade of another word for black.
This is Gerald. Please contact the main office. This is Gerald. Please contact the main office.
Okay, we set up our cross. Okay, capital letter G, lowercase g, cross with capital letter G, lowercase g. We set up our Punnet square. Capital letter G, lowercase g, capital letter G, lowercase g. And then we figure it out. Okay, so if I cross capital letter G with a capital letter G, I get 2 uppercase G's, or capital letter G's. If I cross the capital letter G with a lowercase g, I get 1 of each, capital letter and lowercase. If I cross capital letter G with lowercase g, I get capital letter G, and what's the other one going to be? James? Right, a lowercase g. Tavon, if I cross lowercase g with a lowercase g, what will I get? G, lowercase g, and lowercase g. Excellent. Okay, Sarah, what would be my results? I have 25% gray, because that's the dominant one. Here's another gray. Here's another gray, and this one is ebony. So my results are 75% gray and only 25% is ebony. 25% ebony. Do you agree, Kevin? Good. Okay, check your work, correct it, and let's move on to number 4. Okay, number 4 has to do with normal pigment and albinism, which is like an albino. Okay, like one of our gerbils is almost albino in color. It's almost pure white, and it has red eyes. Okay? Alright, so we're going to make our cross, which is going to be pure albinism and hybrid or dominant normal pigment. Set up our Punnet square, albinism, pure across the top, hybrid on the side. We're going to cross these things. If I cross a capital letter N with a lowercase n, Edwin, what should I get here? Uppercase and lowercase. Correct. If I cross an uppercase with a lowercase again, Niasia, what will I get? Capital letter N and lowercase n. Very good. Okay. Who would like to answer the next one? Please raise your hand. If I cross lowercase n, albinism and albinism, I'm going to wind up with pure albinism. And once again, who would like to answer this question? If I cross albinism and albinism, I'm going to wind up with albinism. Very good. Now let's figure out our results. Remember, each square has to add up to 25, and the total has to be 100%. Results are always in percent. Don't forget to mark it percent. Okay, so it looks like I have 50% normal pigment. And what percent albinism? Raise your hand. Correct. 50% albinism. Very good. Okay, to sum up and final, let's look at our steps. Just let's review them. Step number 1, create your key. Step number 2, make your cross. Step number 3, draw your Punnet square. And step number 4, write your results in percentage. Okay, that's the end of our lesson for today. Hope you all understand it because it's going to show up on your regions. Thank you very much.